Okay, well, welcome back. Just painting up some of the crew figures, and I just thought I'd show you this one. I've just been painting his shield, and this other one, same thing. Painting his shield, and this third one, same thing. I painted the gold on it, which it looks great from a from 3 feet away or whatever, or this distance, about a foot away, which I'm at the moment. But it doesn't look quite right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this one, right land flesh shield, which I also use for the faces, and give them another coat of this. I'm going to use, I've stirred it up with my electronic paint stirrer, and then I think I'll be able to show you. What I'm doing. Oops. Hopefully I can keep it on camera and it'll stay in focus. If I do it like this, it'll be more. I'm still having trouble. Every time I look at the figure, it seems to drift off camera. Okay, well, you can see that. And I'm going to lay that down flat. Can't show you that bit. Flat-ish anyway. And I'll do the next one. This one. Just load up the brush and cover it. I'm using a good paintbrush for this. Windsor and Newton paintbrush, but you don't have to, I don't think. I've gone over the edge, so I might as well. Oops. Go over all the edges. There's a lot more this shade on this one than there was. Still is. On the other one. On the first one. So I'll lay him down as flat as I can. He wants to roll over. Alright, well, it's reasonably flat. And here's the last one of these three. Still a good lot of the shade on the brush. And you can see, put that, I mean, it does look quite good, that shade. Make sure it's in focus. So hopefully it'll dry out nicely as well. I'll show you that when it does. Okay, I'm going to be using this paint next, and I'm going to be using it to paint the base color on this little guy, or the shield that is, and then I'm going to paint the leaves, the oak leaves I think they are, of the laurel. Was it laurel leaves? Anyway, the leaves that are on his shield, I'm going to paint them green and yellow. I'll get on with that first, give it a quick whir on there. Paint mixer. That's plenty. And this time I'm going to use this a very small Tamiya brush HG2 87217, if you want to know. Hopefully this will work out. Hope this is all in focus and everything. You can see that I'd already painted the shield blue, well, the bit of it that I'm painting again to give me a good base for putting this. Sorry, I painted it white, so it give me a good base to put this blue paint on. It's going to show up nice and bright. Okay. See, that was a bit at the top as well, isn't it? A little tiny bit. Try and make sure I can get this on camera. Right, I think that's that part of it done. Now here's another one. Here's another. This is the eagle bearer. He's got a lovely shield as well. Same sort of design with the leaves and a circle pattern. I've already painted the boss on this shield. He's got a lion skin, this one, so this guy is even more fancier than the other one. The other one has, what is that? Oh, it's like a bear skin, I think. Not 100% sure. This will also help to illustrate the differences that the different color primers are going to make to the finished product. I think you'll be able to see already that this is a much darker blue than the other one, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be any particular shade. I think as well, probably was saying at this stage, almost certainly gonna make the occasional mistake painting these. Not to worry, it is just paint, so if you painted it once, you can paint it again. Although of course I prefer not to. Better to get it right first time. But I have to I'm sort of reminding myself here, it doesn't matter that much if you make a mistake, because, as I say, just do it again. There you go, that's that one. Probably when I look at this on a giant 4K screen, it'll look different. Okay, so that's that. I'll have to leave that to dry for a little while. I'm back in a minute. Okay, well that blue background has started to dry. Now I'm going to use this as a base coat for the leaves. I don't actually know what the name of this colour is because the labels come off the bottle, but it's a Vallejo, sort of a lime green maybe. The paint wasn't very good when it came out the bottle either, so I've got to mix it up a bit on here using that old brush. Now let's see if I can do this and keep it, let's see, move the camera a bit, keep it in the camera shot. Doesn't seem to be covering too well, which is kind of strange because it came out the pot very thick. And it looks very thick. See that okay? A little bit difficult in here because I can't quite see where the leaves are. But if I can't see them, I can't see them. It won't matter if I don't paint them quite right. Okay, I'll just go over them quickly. Some of them anyway. Just to make sure that I've got proper, it's better looking, proper cover. Okay, that's what that looks like now. Let's try the other one. That's the one that was on the white, had the white base coat. This one was much darker, so might get a better result. Might need more than one coat. This paint is not good. You know what they say about a bad workman? Blaming his tools. Let's see. Is that what I'm doing, I wonder? I don't think so. I think it's just rubbish paint. Hopefully you can see that little bit. I'm not sure what this little bit at the bottom there is meant to be on his. It's like, I don't know what it is. I'm going to paint it green anyway, since that's the colour I've got. If I need to go over it with some other colour again later, and then probably easier to go over it when it's green than when it's this dark blue. I could almost use an even thinner brush for this part. I do have even thinner brushes. Alright. Okay, almost done. I'm just going to go over a few of these. Make sure I've got sufficient coverage so that they stand out. You probably wouldn't want to paint your whole War Games army this way. Although perhaps in the past, before we had our wonderful shield transfers, this was something like this. This is what you'd have to do. Now you can do it with just a sticker. Transfer. Right. Okay, so that's that basic color. Next I'm going to do the yellow color. Okay, back again. I was going to use this color to do some highlighting on those leaves and things. But then I remember this is a bit rubbish, this one. It's very low coverage and it's very watery. So I thought I'd try this old jug of paint what I got. But of course, being really old, when I tried to open it and the top broke, and there was a huge bit of dried paint crusted around the lid, so it's a bit of a nuisance. I didn't get any of it on me, I don't think, so that's one good thing. You can see here I'm just kind of randomly mixing them up. Oh, I should say as well, I've changed the brush. I've got this Tamiya Modeling Brush Pro 2 item 87172. Now this is tiny even compared to the other one I was using. This is the other one I was using, and you can see, I hope, that this white brush is even smaller. So let's see. And I start off with this figure. This will give it a more of a 3D. It is already 3D anyway, but this should help. If it works. If it works at all. At this point, I think I'm going to say again, these linear A figures are super, given that they're only 172. They're pretty small. Okay, I think I'll sort of leave it at that. I'll come back and have a look at it with fresh eyes once it's dry. I'll do the other one now. It does look very different. The blue, same blue paint over a dark primer. Remember I did the other. Well, let's put both together. The lighter coloured one I've done over the white base, and the darker coloured one over dark base. A little mistake at the end there, just on the last one. These Tamiya brushes are very good, but they do tend to get a hooked tip after a while, and that ruins them. You'd sort of think that they would be extra tough, but they're not as long lasting as the like the Winsor & Newton sable ones. Let's do another little bit there, just. Got a great big blob of paint on the brush, which is never a good idea, but okay. I just thought I'd show you that. Just a little update on where I'm headed with this. Painting the crew. We can have a look in a minute at the ones I washed earlier, the shields. Okay, back in a second. Okay, let's have a look. Well, you can see that we've definitely dulled the gold paint down a bit. This is with the Reichland Flesh shade. Oh, missed a bit up in the corner there. Let's come back and do that again. Let's see, this is the first one we did. Now these look fine to my eyes, and even through the magnifier, and with my reading glasses on. They do need to be brightened up again. And that's the last one, that's the third one. It's very dark up in that corner. And there's a little bit of gold that would need to be maybe redone. But they look nice, you know, they're not too bad. They're not a million miles off the quality of the shield transfers, at least to look at. Maybe when I look at them up close they will be. And there, so you can see here's some of the other little crew figures I've been working on. Show you quickly. I like this guy coming along. About halfway done, probably. Okay, well, I finished up the last video with having a look at the figures of painted and putting some more wash on them and so on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back and re-highlight these shields, and I'm going to use this colour, which I find to be pretty good. And I'll just for completeness, I'll show you this brush, Tamiya brush HG2 item 87217. They do all have sort of normalish names, but I can't remember what they are. Okay, so we're going to redo some of the highlights on this guy. Well, on his shield, that is. With this greedy gold. You just want to put it in the areas where it's going to emphasize the detail and so on. The other gold that I used, which was this one here, it didn't It's a bit wimpy or something. I don't know what you'd call it. To be honest, with the naked eye, these look pretty good already to me. But it could be that my eyesight's failing or something, man. This is quite a fine, for me anyway, level of detail painting. There's a couple of mistakes on this one. I'll correct them later off camera, I think. I mean, you wouldn't really notice them. It's not going to be in a competition or anything. Now this is where he had too much of that wash up in the corner. But that also gives us a sort of opportunity to emphasize the difference between the light and the dark. You see there? Hopefully, is that all in focus and everything? I've got the camera off to one side so I can't see it while I'm painting. Seems to work better for me. Could have done a lot more editing when I get the footage back. I just really want to show you this rather than like present it as a complete work or anything like that. And as we're just kind of highlighting with this greedy gold paint, we don't need to do everything. Just places where it will emphasize the design on the shield. Spear points on these lightning symbols, tips of the wings, that kind of thing. I can also correct any small mistakes. Right, so that's the result I'm after. I'll do the other two figures, there's 3 of them with shields, and then I'll just show you the finished product and then we'll tie up the video at that point. Okay, back in a minute. Okay, back for the last little bit of this video. I'll just show you, this is the sort of finished result of all that little shield painting. That's one figure. Here's the other guy with a more rounded but still rectangular shield. Beautiful figures again, linear A. Can't say enough good about them. Then this guy. You can see the details there. I probably still have to do a little bit of tidy up on these, but we've gone over here and there. The last little thing I wanted to do, you might notice I've got some other figures here. Just to show you, these are 28mm figures, like say this one, which is a Imperial Roman foot soldier. you can see that there's not much difference in the height, but I mean, look at his face and the way all the details are exaggerated. This is a Warlord Games, Marius's mule marching Roman figure. This figure was painted by Steve Dean 10 or 15 years ago. Okay, that's one. And I'll just show you. There's another one. Again, we'll compare him to a different figure. It's not so much. I mean, he is a bit taller, this guy. He's got a hat on. But it's the sort of exaggerated details that make him a lot easier to paint than these 172 scale figures. Yeah, that's that. And again, that figure was painted by Steve Dean. I'll put a link in the description if I can. This figure here I painted myself. I did a video of it. Is a Frostgrave figure of Ayala. There's his shield that I painted. Just hand painted that. And there's the difference. It's sort of a Dark Ages Britain and Imperial Roman fanciness. It's a beautiful figure, that 28mm figure, but again you can see it is a good bit taller, that one, and much more exaggerated features. He's got a cloak on. There's the back. You can see how that looks. I'll just actually, if I show you, I was painting one of these as well, like this guy. He has a sort of cloak. I actually think the metal figure, the Footsore miniatures figure, has a better cloak, although there's plenty of detail in this little guy as well. It's got the teeth and everything on there. Here's another one, just for comparison. I mean, this 172 scale figure looks tiny compared to him. There's his shield that I've done. Two different shields, and you can see he's got a lion skin on this one. He's obviously not finished painting it yet. That's how I painted that up. And you can compare it to that. So all these 172 figures I'm painting are for sort of to go on my Bireme, or I've also got other ancient model ships. Anyway, that's another little bit of video, a little size comparison there, and I'll leave it at that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe, but you don't have to, of course, or you can comment as well, of course. Anyway, there we go. See you in the next one. Bye bye.